Well, good morning, my friend. Welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. Good to have you along with me on this Tuesday morning. And boy, we had a good start to the teen revival last night, and certainly was exciting to see what God did there. And looking forward to this morning, 9 o'clock, we start the conference or the revival. And so looking forward to that and being able to help the teenagers once again as we get going all day long. And they're going to have a busy day. They'll be worn out tonight, no doubt about that. But that's okay. That's a good thing to do. And good to have you along with me today. I hope that you had a good start to your week. And I'm looking forward to what God's going to do all week long. That's what I'm looking forward to, and trying to find somebody I can lead to the Lord this week, try to get them into church and start working on their lives to grow in the Lord. That's what all of us need to endeavor to do. I encourage you to do so, no matter how busy you are. Set time aside to be a soul winner, always looking for somebody you can lead to Christ, and God will lead you to someone. Well, today, I want to talk to you about ways that matter. In Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 9, the scripture says, "Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way, to turn from it. If he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul." Now, God told Ezekiel that he was a watchman to Israel. That was his job. His messages were there to warn Israel of their ways, of what would happen if they didn't do what's right. Now, a watchman was the man who sat on the tower. There's a wall, and then you had a tower on several towers on the wall all the way around the city. And this watchman sat in that tower, and his job was to look afar to find any enemy that may be coming in at a distance so that he could warn Israel of impending danger. Now, if this watchman did not sound the alarm, many would die because of his negligence. And if this watchman warned the people, but they did nothing with the warning, their destruction was their own fault. Now, God told Ezekiel, he says, as a preacher, he says that as a preacher, he was the watchman for Israel. God was saying, he says, it's your responsibility to warn the people of their ways so that they could turn from those ways that would destroy them. That was his job as a preacher. Now, just like Ezekiel was a watchman for Israel, the pastor is the watchman for the church. The parent is the watchman for the child. To see ways that are dangerous and not warn those who have a responsibility to warn is negligence. And God will judge the watchman, my friend. If we are to warn people of dangerous ways, then we need to learn what God means by the word way. Now, I want to share with you 6 things the word way means that we must warn people about. First, the word way is talking about a person's conduct. So how you live your life, it does matter to God. So your conduct as a believer is a representation of your heart. So your conduct is not to look like the world or to have the world's manners, but it is a representation of Christ. So when your conduct changes, it is the watchman's responsibility to warn you. Second, the word way is talking about a person's disposition. So a wrong attitude reveals a deeper problem in that life. So your attitude can be detrimental to your Christian testimony. You have no right to have a bad attitude just because another's wrongdoing towards you. One wrong doesn't make your wrong right. So you got to guard your attitude so that it doesn't become a detriment to your Christian walk. Third, the word way is talking about your habits. So when your good habits all of a sudden change, now it's the responsibilities of those who are your watchmen to warn you. That's their job. Now, I often talk to people who do things out of character because I know something has changed. Okay, they're out of their character. When I say out of character, they're not doing the same thing. They're out of their rhythm. So I talk to them because something's changed in the life. Keeping the right habits is critical to doing right, and a change in routine is always a change for the worse. Fourth, the word way is talking about the wrong direction. Now, you may be positionally right, but your direction may be directionally wrong. Now, I would rather be directionally right and positionally, okay. I'd rather be directionally right and positionally wrong than to be positionally right and directionally wrong. You say, what do you mean by that, preacher? So your direction dictates your future position. So let's say my position is wrong, but I'm headed the right way. I'll end up at the right position. However, if my direction's wrong, I'm going the wrong direction. I may be in the right place right now, but I'll soon not be in the right place because my direction is wrong. So the word so as a watchman, the watchman's got to warn people of directional changes, the wrong direction. Your direction dictates your position. When your direction is pointed towards compromisers and King James Bible deniers, you're headed towards compromise. And someone needs to warn you. Don't get mad at them because they're warning you. Fifth, the word way is talking about methods. So methods say a lot about a church or an individual. The methods you implement tell where you're going. The methods of the old past should never be set aside. They must always be done because those methods dictate who you will become. Now, the word way 6 is talking about your distance, about distance. Backing up is always the wrong indication that you're changing for the worse. When you start increasing your distance from God and getting closer to the world, someone's got to be the watchman. Guard your distance from God and the things and the things right. Distancing yourself from the right always results in a wrong association and compromise. Now, my friend, these are the 6 things that a watchman is to warn you about. Now, listen to me very carefully. When they come to warn you, don't get upset at them. They're just doing their job. They're doing what God tells them to do. Because if they don't do it, God holds them accountable. Now, what you do with their warning, you can get mad at them and say, well, I want to stop going to that preacher's church. I don't like what he's doing. Now, that's not going to help you with God. The preacher's not the problem. What he's warning you about is the problem. He's trying to warn you. He's being a watchman. He sees the enemy coming from afar, and changing churches doesn't stop the enemy from coming. So don't get mad at the watchman. Do what's right. Change the way. Get ready for the defense. Do what's right. My friend, if we will do what's right, we can guard ourselves from the enemy. We can keep ourselves from doing things that we should not do. And one day what we'll look back in life and we'll say, wow, I'm so glad that I didn't just do something that was careless in getting mad at the watchman, whether it be the pastor, whether it be your teacher or a teacher, whether it be your parents, whoever it is. Don't get mad at the watchman when they warn you. Now, watchmen, you do your job and warn people these 6 ways. But when you get warned, don't you be that one that says, well, I don't really care what they're going to do. I'm just going to do what I need to do. My friend, don't do that. You do what's right, and God will always bless us for doing what's right. Well, I hope this is a great help to you today. Now, let's remember today, be good to everyone,